more than a decade ago.
Well, I've been thinking about running for something.
Lucy Lauser looked to local politics after meeting former Silverton, Oregon Mayor Stu Rasmussen, the first openly transgender mayor in the country.
And it kind of changed what I thought was possible for myself. It was the first time I'd ever seen someone like me not presented as a monster or a joke, but as someone in a position of respect.
Lauser grew up in rural Washington.
In a very conservative Christian family, I was homeschooled all the way through. I'd always instinctively associated myself with women and girls, but I didn't know trans people existed, so I just thought I was broken.
During her transition, she struggled with homelessness.
And then ultimately decided I'd always wanted to live in Stevenson. There was never anything to rent, but I was living in a bus, so I thought I'll just come be homeless in Stevenson.
Not long after, she ran for city council and won in 2023 with more than 60% of the vote.
I wanted to bring the perspective of someone who's been homeless, a disabled person, someone who's lived in extreme poverty, a trans person who grew up in this community and never felt safe in it.
After the 2024 presidential election,
Started to feel like I don't have a future in this country, and I just had to do something.
Lauser turned to protest, topless twice, on the Skamania County Courthouse lawn. Since we are showing you on TV, we've blurred her breasts, though she partially covered them in tape.
So when I was getting ready for the protest, I felt sick. I didn't want to do it. It just felt like something that had to be done. To say that it's obscene for me to wear a dress, it's obscene for me to have breasts at all. A lot of people seem to think that this is either aesthetic preference or some sort of obscene sexual fetish, which are both completely wrong. For me, it's a matter of life or death.
And protesting topless was like the best way that you felt?
I couldn't think of a better method of protesting the president calling me a man than taking off my shirt and getting arrested for it.
On July 4th, Lauser was arrested for indecent exposure after Skamania County Sheriff's deputies say she failed to cover herself when they asked her to. Lauser was taken to jail and released after posting bail.
You're right here. 4th of July, out in front of everybody and anybody could see, out in front of the public on 4th of July.
Kathleen Fitzgerald is a local business owner.
I knew right away that it was a crime. It's against the law. This is a majority of people are concerned that there is a topless woman and their children are seeing this. All public elected officials should be held to a higher standard.
Fitzgerald now leading a petition to recall Councilor Lauser.
The town of Stevenson and Skamania County is relatively, I wouldn't say conservative, but we are very well grounded and very community oriented. And I truly believe that these actions, whether they are for whatever reason, is not appropriate for downtown city of Stevenson.
The Councilor Lauser now running for mayor in the primary election less than a week away.
I think it's amazing personally. I'm totally proud of her for standing up for who she is.
I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other. Okay. I just think that the people, which should all be residents of Stevenson, that this is a very important election and that we should be choosing wisely who we elect at this time.
I'm totally fine not being elected for mayor. If I was, it would send a pretty big message about the community support.
This is not about a transgender. This is about a city council member that is going topless and committing a crime.
So that petition to recall Councilor Lauser is currently caught up in the courts.
Both Lauser and Fitzgerald tell me a judge approved the recall petition, basically saying it is legal and can move forward. However, Lauser appealed. She is now represented by the ACLU. A Washington State Supreme Court judge has yet to make a final decision. Now, if it's allowed to move forward, the petition would need 178 signatures within 180 days to recall Councilor Lauser. As for Lauser's criminal charge of indecent exposure from her 4th of July protest, the Skamania County prosecuting attorney tells me the case is still pending. Lauser has been assigned an attorney, but the prosecuting attorney says they have not been able to get a hold of that person to talk about procedural issues. Lauser is due back in court next Monday, August 4th, just one day before Washington State's primary election on Tuesday, where Lauser will appear as a candidate for Stevenson mayor. If she is one of the top 2 vote getters, she'll advance to the general election in November. So, what is your take on this controversy? Maybe you have thoughts about the petition to recall Lauser. Let us know. Email us at thestory@kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090.